Hello everybody, Cila here from Kardec UK one more time so we can continue our studying, and our study is The Gospel According to Spiritsm by Allan Kardec, and today we are in chapter 2 and is the chapter that talks about my kingdom is not of this world, and that would say by Jesus to Pilate when he was called in, I think it was in Rome or Jerusalem, when he was called by the Roman soldier that want to prosecute him. Anyway, so let's start with this. And already today, I did my prayers before I start, and so we're ready to read and try to explain what is what. For that explanations, as always, I did a little refresh course. I watched it's called Canal Espírita. It's a Brazilian channel on YouTube by Professor Luis Fernando, and he was talking exactly about what we're talking today. So it's kind of like I read, but kind of reminds me of its important points and what to bring it up. So that's what I've been doing, and it's really helpful. So if anybody wanna follow, is Canal Espírita, and the name is Professor Luis Fernando Amaral. Very good channel. Even if you don't speak English, I recommend you to follow because you can put the caption, the translator, and see all the writing, translating what he's saying. He's like my guide. That's who I follow because I've been away from Spiritism for many years, and now coming back, that's what I go back to. Say, oh yeah, that's what it meant. Anyhow, let's go cut short and start with this reading. So we start with what happened. So once Pilatus entered the palace, that's where the conversation took place. 1. Then Pilate entered into the judgment hall again, and called Jesus, and said unto him, Art thou the King of Jews? Jesus answered, My kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, then would my servants fight, that I should not be believed to the Jews. But now is my kingdom not from hence. Pilate therefore said unto him, Art thou the king then? Jesus answered, Thou sayest that I am the king. Though this age was I born, and for this cause came into the world, that I should bear witness unto the truth. Every one that is of the truth heareth my voice. That was John 18, 33, 36, and 37. All right, so what we're going to merge into is basically Jesus is saying, yes, I am here, and I'm king, but not of this kingdom. This is not what I'm from, meaning planet Earth itself and the life here. He came from someone else. He came from the afterlife, and that was his king. So we start with that. We're going to talk about the future life, which is the next chapter, chapter 2. With this word, Jesus clearly referred to a future life, which he presents in all circumstances as the goal which humanity must reach, and which should constitute man's greatest preoccupation here on earth. All his maxims refer to the great principle. Indeed, without a future life, there would be no reason to have the majority of these moral precepts. So what we're talking here is this. Okay, if you don't believe in afterlife, after you're here on planet Earth, why would bother? Would not make sense. So what he's trying to explain here is that, yes, that is afterlife. Where do we go? Where will spirits go? And why would us be not preoccupied in take care of business, basically? And bring that we are here to learn. This is just a life where we're passing through. It's passage, and we need the main goal in this life. It is to learn and, use our moral principles that we learn here. This is why those do not believe in the future life cannot understand or think the matter foolish, because they imagine that Jesus was only speak of the present life again. So again, he was not talking about his present life at the time. He was talking about what comes after, which for Spiritism is what we believe. After we die, we go to where we're supposed to be, which is our real life, and we go there and we take a break, a refresher, and then obviously we're not pure enough. We come back again to repaint and purify in another life. We're born again, we have another family, and all those things that if you start studying the Spiritism and explain why. Anyways, following through. This doctrine can therefore be considered as the basis of Christ's teaching. Therefore, it has been placed on this first item in this work. Therefore, it has been placed as the first item in his work, meaning this chapter of My Kingdom is Not This World. It must be the point of the most closely look at, as it's the only one that justifies the anomalies and irregularities of the earthly life, and can also show itself to be in accordance with the justice of God. Meaning, he came to show us that the spiritual life is not just life we know here with as incarnated and material things and all the materials. He came to show that we are here to Jesus came to show that we are here to for evolution of our spirits, meaning our morals, our growth, what we learn here, all the stuff we learn is good, love each other, charity, and everything else that he always show us through his passage on this earth. And this was the main characters of Jesus' mission. So if you put it this way, Moses, because because of the maturity of the people at the time, they understand he could not reveal all of this, but he came also sent by God to instruct us on where to go. And then Jesus came and showed by example most of everything we need to learn, but he still not show everything, because at the time we could not understand, especially the Jews. So that's what we're gonna dive in next. Jews have another understand of afterlife and how life works, so it was too much information for the Jews at the time to understand everything. So Jesus did not show everything. That what we believe it came after with the Spiritism. Spiritism was the doctrine of teaching us here. So that's what we take as an explanation for everything, basically. So let me go back. 3. The Jews had only a vague idea of the future life. They believe in angels. One, they are considered to be privileged beings of the creation. They did not know, however, that man and woman could one day become angels and so participate in the same happiness. So they didn't believe that we could be superior, that we could learn. Following through, according to them, the observance of God's laws would bring worldly recompense, the supremacy of their nation, and the victory of their enemies. So that's what they believe. By being nice, by doing good things, they will be compensated with. They will be compensated with the victory of their nation over the enemies, which was the Romans back in the day, right? The public calamities and downfalls were a punishment for disobedience of the laws. So they believed that everything bad that happened, the calamities and downfalls, were because they did something bad. Moses could say no more than this to those who were mostly shepherds or ignorant people who need to be taught it before anything else by worldly things. So basically Moses need to show with the whole language he used and miracles happening, so people would believe him, and he could not say much because there's only so much that he could understand at the time. Later, Jesus revealed that there exists another world where God's justice follows its course, meaning the afterlife. This is the word he promised to all those who obey the commandments of God and where God finds recompense. This is the kingdom where he will be found at his glory, and to which he will return when he left earth. So, following through, I made a little note too. Why God didn't reveal the whole. Okay, so why Jesus didn't reveal the whole thing about afterlife at that time? Again, same reason for Moses. He only revealed what was appropriate for the understand of the people that lived that time when he came here. So let's continue reading. However, when adapting his teachings to the conditions of humanity at the time, Jesus did not consider it convenient to give them all the truth, for he saw they would be only dazzled by it and unable to understand. So he limited himself in a manner of speaking to the presentation of the future life as a principle, as the natural law whose action no one could escape. Therefore, every Christian firmly believes in the future life, but the idea that many bold is still vague, incomplete, and because of this, quite false of various points. Which means certain things that are being introduced on the Bible and the Gospel later on, because everybody interprets and understands different ways. So sometimes certain stuff that we are taught is not really the reality of what should be said. For the majority of the people, it is nothing more than a belief void of absolute certainty. So this is why there are no doubts and even incredibility. Spiritism has come to complete this point, as well as many others taught and by the teachings of Christ. Now the man is sufficiently mature as to be able to learn the truth. If we are with Spiritism, a future life is no longer an article of faith and merely hypothesis, but becomes a material reality as facts demonstrates, because those who have described it to us have all been eyewitnesses. So that not only is doubt no longer possible, but also anyone of whatever intelligence is able to get an idea of its many variety aspects. In the same way, that can be imagining what a country we have never visited is like by reading a detailed description of it. But these descriptions of the future life is a circumstances to such an extent, the conditions of existence for those who resides here, but their happy or unhappy are so rational that we are bound to agree that it could not otherwise that represents the true justice of God. Alright guys, so let's go wrap up. So what it is basically saying first Moses come, could not teach everything, Jesus come, could not teach everything, and then what we call the third revelation, which is the Spiritism. So Spiritism believes that it's life after this life, and we also by thinking this way, when we look back at the gospel, we put the words together and we thought, all right, this is what Jesus was talking about. The stuff that we don't understand, and that's why this book is here. This book, I told you already, it was pieces of the gospels removed and explained, and it was explained by the spirits giving message to the mediums. That's where the explanation comes. Anyways, so what they say here that people that know Spiritism cannot deny is, for example, people such as me, that I grew up in Brazil. As I told you before, Brazil is rich not only in Spiritism but any religions, because we have African descent, European descent, we have a melting pot of people, and with that the cultural religions came. But the thing what is different in Brazil is that it's acceptable, it's normal, it's natural. So for me, and I think a lot of Brazilians, the difference is when we talk about life after this life is quite natural, it's quite normal to think, because you can imagine, as you have a physical body, when you die, where do you go? What happened to your intelligence, your memories, everything? What is not, doesn't make sense that everything ends, then you go and nothing. Of course things happens, and you have a soul, you have a spirit, and why the purpose of being here? Why would you be not a nice person? Why you try to, it's not like something in pushing you to be nice, to do good things, or otherwise, other ways, which is not the right way, but don't you have something? So we understand that, yeah, we are here to repent things that we done in past lives. We are here to grow and understand. It gets further on. That's just the beginning. It gets to the point that we know that is dimensions and levels of the spirits according to their level of evolution. So, of course, God's is the main, the goal, the energy that creates everything, and that's what we try to move towards. Jesus was just somebody that came from God and to this earth. And also we believe in different persons, different ways. It's not just physical people like me and you on earth. We do believe in other forms of life. We believe that is also better and worse, different levels of life and different levels of understanding. So, well, this is a further thing on, but this is like what we believe, and to me and many of us, it comes as natural. It comes like it explains why. It explains why we're here, what we're doing, and why we should not be spend our life doing nothing to develop who we are. We're here to grow, not to just sit around and enjoy a nice swimming pool in the summer if you have one in your backyard and not do anything. We are here to help others. We are here to love, use charity, to resolve our conflicts with other people rather than put aside. We are here to, I mean, by saying that, I don't mean you have to hang out with your enemies. Nothing that you don't have to let them walk all over you. What I'm saying is that you forgive and forget in your heart people that hurt you or other things like that. Doesn't mean you have to hang out with them. But anyways, this is all subject for another time. I'm going out of my point here. So yeah, this is a little bit of why we are here, and the whole point of this is that when Jesus says my kingdom is not of this world, meaning my life here, he's the king of his world, which is not this one, meaning when you die you go to another place that's much better. All his promises and all what we gain from being here and following his rules and laws is that when we die, we go to a better place. Some people call heaven, some people call dimension, some people call other names, but whatever it is, that's when you're gonna be recompensate, and that's where is our true, our real house. This is just a passage. So there's something more about Jesus being called upon being a king. That is a future explanation here. I didn't read, but it talk about how a king here in this life, in this earth, is just is a title that, how can I say, is a temporary authority. He's the king while he's living here. He has lots of possessions, earthly possessions. When he dies, he takes nothing with him. However, Jesus is a permanent king of where he comes from. He's always going to be a king. He's always going to be glorified because what he done for all of us. He could not set up a greater example of charity and come to show us, leads the way. Anyhow, I think I made a bit longer than I should, but that's what I understand. If anybody has a different point of view, a different, I mean, I'm not the owner of the truth. I'm just here to read a pass on what I think it is and give you a briefly understand of this all, um, which is quite new to me as well, because even though I've been studying my whole life, reading is not what I used to do. I used to just listen to other people reading. So now I'm reading and opening my brains to other things that I never noticed before and seeing things that I didn't realize when listening to other people. So I hope you enjoy, and I hope you continue doing what we're doing here. You don't have to do basically through me. You can buy these books and read at home and take your own conclusions. I'm just here to kind of help people like me that don't like reading to navigate through and to, you know, give you a little bit of support if you need. You can message me, you can leave a comment, and you can even laugh at me or say whatever. I know you, my accent's horrible. I know my reading is not the best. I know too, but you know, let's be real. We are here for a reason and not for, you know, being pretty or anything like that. So I hope this helps you guys, and I hope somebody there to listen and take this to make your life better. All right, take care. Bye.